a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple, can't get any simpler than that. This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense.
So he came out and he said it's one of the most important days in American history. What he should have been saying, it's actually one of the most important days of Australia's history. That day was the 2nd of April, 2025. Within 4 days, the Australian stock market had leaked 18% of its value. Retirees, holders of $1 million, maybe max, woke up a week later and found that their whole life savings had been eroded by 18% or back down to around $820,000. They sold out of the markets. They got concerned. Trump's tariffs caused a massive jolt in the world, and it is probably now going to be as big, possibly even larger, of an effect as we've had on COVID. But let's break that down so we can understand what's been happening. Number one, the American economy will not go into recession. He won't let it happen. So the only way that that can stop is as the American machine of manufacture starts to wind up, while its imports, of course, from China are going to wind down. The only steroid turbocharge they can do to stop the American economy as it's diving into the abyss is to actually flood it with cheaper interest rates, to incentivize spending, okay, while they rebuild the American manufacturing machine. Whether you like him or don't like him, this is something that he's done, but the real benefit, I don't think he was considering it, is actually knocking onto Australia. So let's have a think and break it down. We are a low tariff compared to the rest of the world. At 10%, we will still be exporting into America. There will be some casualties, of course, but not catastrophic casualties of where we lie down. Within a short period of time, we will see China holding back stock that it was otherwise sending to America, which is into the 30% of a national trading partner, and it's got nowhere to go. So let's think about what's going to happen to that stock. It's in containers, it's on the wharves, it's getting posted in the ships, but it can't go to America because the price of that stock is relatively 2.5 times what it was going to be to actually sell that stock in America. So where does it go? That stock comes to Australia. The Chinese government will start moving and merging, and we've already seen it happen. While all the stocks fell by 18%, there was only 2 stocks that actually went up against the trend. Those 2 stocks were Woolworths and Coles, because they are buying on 90-day orders. And so what takes place there is that there was going to be large amounts of Chinese imports that are coming down to our supermarket chains, and it's going to be cheaper. Chinese stock will get dumped into Australia, and that will start to actually contain those horrible words we've heard for the last 2 years of cost of living. The average person at Woolworths is actually spending about $325 per week for a family of 4. That will head down towards $225. At the same time, and we already saw it last month, or this month rather, the first interest rate cuts are coming to Australia, and there is going to be more. So what's going on out there? Suddenly, we are getting cheaper costs of money, and we will have deflation taking place in Australia. At the same time, we'll keep progressing to the point where the Australian dollar is so undervalued in the rest of the world that Australian population will start looking at alternate forms of investment. They've got cheaper money, they've got more cost of living, and where are they going to go? They're not going to go back to the stock market because they just lost 18% in 4 days. That's exactly what happened in GFC, and it's exactly what happened in COVID. So where are they going to go? The safest asset in Australia, where all the foreign money's coming in, low cost of dollars, they're going to come into the Australian property market. So I'll take you through the points that actually take us, and I've mentioned some of them already. Interest rates will continue to cut. We will be about 1% down by the end of the year, which is a massive outcome for us. We will then see China dumping stock into Australia, which will cause deflation. We will then move to a really low Aussie dollar, which we're at now. It may improve against the greenback and against the pound sterling, but right now, that money, those American dollars or European dollars, and also to pound sterling, buy so much in Australia. So it's attractive to them to find safe havens to deposit their money. We go to another part again in the world where we're looking at skilled migration, more people coming in with less property to supply them with. We then go one step further and we actually look at a low effect of what the Trump tariffs are in Australia. We landed at 10%, we're in negotiation right now. We may end up at 7.5 to 8. Some of the largest beef exporters our firm does is actually got no change at all in what their export orders are as a result of the Trump tariffs. Then we go to what's going to happen with the rest of Australia's economy. Will our iron ore and all of our base metals project keep going to China? If it does keep, or if it does not keep going to China, it will go to the Magnificent Nine. We heard in the last speech, Indonesia, Malaysia. It will have buyers that go all the way through to Korea. So all of a sudden, the things under our ground will start to work again as well. And then we have to go to what will our banks do? They will start to lend money more loosely. Bank stocks got hammered as well as part of the tariffs. As the property market starts to lift, there is more comfort from delinquency. So the banks will open up their books again and applications will be more readily available to purchasers to buy Australian property. So where are we now? Property has a good chance of booming in Australia. And what are we going to do about it? How are we going to change our scripts and dialogues so we start winning in the lounge rooms again, and that gap that's existed of about 10% between vendor appraisal of their own property and where purchasers are going to meet. So I look there and I say, sign long-term contracts before we go. Make sure, because this won't happen overnight, it won't just be an add water approach to it, but just like in COVID, the market will start to steadily take off again. I'm predicting 12% growth in the Australian property market over the next 9 to 12 months. So you can already imagine it's built in on pricing. We will go back to being a bull market like we were in COVID. We will enjoy prosperity and cheaper costs of living as we go forward.